wider to the ground the purpose. So if you took a razor blade across a piece of cheese and you put it at a little bit of an angle, 5%, 10% like a dozer blade cutting edge, you would just gouge into that cheese across top. That's why they put a roller on a cheese cutter to keep it stable. And that's the same thing you do with grading dirt. It's the food market has most of your answers already, believe it or not. So if you take that same razor blade and you V it in, bend it in the middle, kink it or curve it, you solve the problem. It's not straight where it'll gouge and jump. So that's what my patent pending is on this. Put in a few years ago for it. We're finally with the manufacturer getting it all built, but this is the first dirt cut I've really done with it. It's wintertime in Indiana, and just dried out here March, I don't know, about 4th. Anyways, is what you can see here is how stable the blade is. You see it moving up and down, see the cylinders on the side adjusting for it. It totally follows the blade. We're bouncing. We have every problem we can have. We need to firm the blade up. On the skid steers, they bounce a little bit due to the angle of the cylinders for the roll and dump or in and out of the bucket. But as you watch here, this is set up so that you can run it manually or you can run it, and we're only doing automation here, but you can even see it bounce. Look how smooth it is. It's like a human adjusting, but it adjusts so fast and it's so stable. There's no counterweights. You'll see the other guys are putting counterweights on the back. They're putting wheels. This thing gets in here and you can V it forward or back, which you'll see at the end of the video. And so you can use it as a total dozer blade, but this laser setup on this thing makes it great for cutting pads, leveling out arenas, roads. You can put a tilt on it. You can put a 3D model in, cut all your curves and swales and anything you want. But there's nothing before that you could take on dirt like this unless it was a long track dozer. Long track dozers were made basically to stabilize the blade from hopping when it's in the ground, especially for laser and stuff. So you start seeing more and more long track dozers. It gave it the stability that straight blade, it's such a big piece of steel, it could hold it all together. So this just solved all of it. And I learned it on an excavator. I dig best for excavators. And I bent a dozer blade one time between two trees trying to get it to grade. And once I bent it, I thought, I ruined it. I set it down and pulled it and it grade perfect. Because the curve in the blade right there doesn't let it gouge. So now if we're doing sand, which you'll start seeing videos of that, or gravel, you can just see it hopping and everything there. Now I'm letting it grade on its way back too. You can see it. It solves all that hopping and all that just because it's more stable. So like I said, sand or gravel or stone, you can V the blade in a little farther. Whatever you V the blade, it dampens it more and more the more you bring it in. Don't need sides on it because the V pushes it to the middle all the time. This is our prototype. The one we're building right now is a single hinge in the middle, kind of like what the snow plows do, but super duty. This is serious amount of steel in this thing. I mean, you'll just break the skid steer before you hurt this thing. Anyways, the ability here to grade under movement. So is all I do is I back up and I can leave it down and grade back and forth with the laser. I can pick it up in the air. When I pick it in the air, it gets out of the laser range or GPS range. And then when I set it back down, it goes back to grading again. You can just see it cutting perfect. This is the hardest damn clay. This is the worst or best example for a dozer grading across ground. So you can put anybody in this thing and start cutting pads, cutting swales, cutting anything you want planes on, cutting roads, anything on steep banks, anything you want with the skid steer, pavers, patios, yards to drain, just parking lots, horse arenas, This is the foolproof way to use a laser and just cut, cut, cut. We're manufacturing right now. We're getting ready to take pre-orders, and here's how it goes. I mean, you can see it cutting, pulling, biting. That's all that more that machine can cut. I mean, look at it just peel that grass. It absolutely works like a champ. So visit us at I Dig Best or call Phil at 317-210-0220. Have a great week. Well, everybody, it's March 13th, 2024, and it's our first chance to work in sand. The weather's just been pretty rough this winter, so we're in Indiana, and we're at Beaver's gravel pit, and they dumped us out some sand, so it's soft and really hard stuff to grade with a dozer blade, unless you got one of these things. Anyways, this thing is that's the second pass right there. It's just it's just crazy. It absolutely cuts, absolutely beautiful. So if you can watch it here, where it's adjusting, going up and down, it's balanced well, it pushes well. It's you can just see it run right out to the end. It just lays it out, man. It's best if you just pull it up in the air a little bit like that, and it gets it out of the laser range. And then when you back up, you set it down, you'll see it jump back to the elevation by itself. And you can just take it and use it any way you want. You can fold the arms in or out. So I've got them out right now. That gives a V also. And it just stabilizes just unbelievably well. I mean, look at that thing. Very little bounce. This is first pass, running good and fast. And watch her go for a little bit. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. It's fun to watch a machine work. It just grades so perfect. And as it's doing right now, it's cutting, turning. Those are the hardest things you can do on loose, soft sand. The lasers are controlling it, but it's called the 3D V blade because it's set up for GPS also, which we'll be putting on here soon. And you can do all your models, everything, get in your tight spots and just knock it out, man. So it's I Dig Best. Give Phil a call and we'll get one going.